Today we're going to make another smoothie, of course, and I'm going to show you a little bit about what's in my fridge and my pantry. Because in some of the heart healthy lectures that I give and the information that I provide on this channel, a lot of it goes around buying individual ingredients at the grocery store. So instead of buying the packages and the foods that have a variety of ingredients, what this is about when I talk about heart healthy eating is it's about putting you back in control of your life, back in control of your health. And the best way to do that is to buy foods they're individual ingredients, and then you make the foods yourself at home. So for example, here I just have some of the vegetable and fruit selection that I have here at the house right now. And you'll notice that none of these foods have ingredient labels on them, so you don't have to worry about added salts, sugars, fats, or preservatives. And you don't have to worry about counting calories or counting carbs when you eat this way, because it's whole foods. We're eating whole plant-based foods on this channel. You'll never see me cooking chicken or drinking milk. It's whole plant-based foods, and the nice thing about eating that way is that you don't have to calorie restrict and you don't have to portion out your food the same way you would with other meals. Because when we're looking at food on a scale of low-calorie foods to high-calorie foods, plant-based foods are some of the lowest in calories per pound. So, for example, celery is about 100 calories a pound. So is eggplant. A lot of these foods, onions, right? And none of these foods are going to spike your blood sugars, raise your cholesterol. They don't have any saturated fat in them. Here we got some chopped up onion. So, when we're looking at vegetables, they're averaging about 100 calories a pound. So you'd have to eat 30 pounds of food in a day to even really start to see a nudge in that scale. So it's really impossible to gain weight on a whole food plant-based diet. Now you could get Oreos, which are vegan, but those are going to average about 2,400 calories a pound. So easy to gain weight on Oreos, but much, much harder to gain weight on fruit and vegetables. Here we have a selection. So when I go to the grocery store, remember, I spend about 50% of my time at the grocery store in the fruit and the vegetable aisles, also known as the produce section. So 50% of my time at the store is spent getting produce, 50% of my cart or my basket is at least produce, and then 50% of what we have here at the house is going to be produce, whether it's fresh like this or it's frozen. Like here we have some organic blueberries that I picked last year. Here I have some wild blackberries that I picked last year. Again, 50% more blueberries. We also have some like frozen vegetables. More frozen vegetables. So really what the fridge becomes is it's a storage unit for produce, and it also has some leftovers and condiments, but that's basically what we're looking at. So here in the fruit basket, we have a variety of different fruits. So not just one or two, because you might come home and say, well, I don't want to have a banana or I don't want to have grapefruit, but here we've got some couple of different kinds of, apples, and we have I don't even know. These are plums here. More apples. We have bell peppers, which are technically fruit, but you can call them a vegetable if you want. We have some oranges. And so not only are we getting a variety, but also a variety of color. We've got reds. We've got greens. We have orange. We have purple. We have yellow. So there's a lot of different lemons in here. So we have a lot of different variety, different color. But the nice thing is they're all individual ingredients. But one of the things I definitely wanted to show you was my little pantry down here to show you when I'm making my smoothies or when we're cooking meals, our kitchen is a storage for all the individual ingredients, but we're assembling the meals here at the house. So if we want to add a little bit of oil or a little bit of salt or a little bit of sugar, we can do it ourselves rather than rely on someone else from the food manufacturers to do it. And oftentimes they're going to add a lot more than you would at home. So bear with me on my camera skills here. But here's the pantry. So you can ignore the white bread on top because I didn't buy that. But you'll notice that we have like whole grain pasta in here. A couple different kinds of pasta. We've got linguine. We also have lasagna. We've got some tomato sauce, no salt added, of course. So I always look for less than 300 milligrams of sodium on the label, or this is even better. This is 20 milligrams of sodium. What else? We have some light coconut milk. So we like to make some curries, but you know, the light coconut's going to be a little bit better for you. You know, here's just your traditional pasta sauce. If you want to go that route, sometimes we do. We've got our oatmeal here. We've got some granola. So this is more of a little snackies up here. But down here is where the magic happens. Here we have nutritional yeast. We've got different kinds of beans, right? So beans are great at lowering your blood sugars, lowering your blood pressure. Here we have different kinds of rice. That's rice. Here we have some trail mix. So these are non-roasted, non-salted. We've got all of our spices. So if we want to flavor things, like if you're making curries, if you're making oatmeal, if you're making Indian food, if you're making Mexican food, whatever it is you're making, we have a spice for it down here. And then if you want to add some salt, you add the salt. Don't buy the seasonings with the salt in it. These are all individual spices here. I like to bake occasionally. I don't do it frequently, but here, you know, we got some sugar. We have some, these are wheat berries, actually, so we can make our own wheat flour if we wanted. We've got lentils. Here we have flaxseed, of course. I always recommend flaxseed for reducing your risk for cancer. Some black beans down here. So just a lot going on. Here we have some breadcrumbs, but notice they're whole wheat. So, more herbs. So, all individual ingredients, and then when it comes time to making the meals, we don't cook super extravagantly, but we're able to do it with our individual ingredients. Now, another important concept is just the sheer volume of plant foods that you have to eat every day. Remember, when I've shown the list of the Dr. Greger Daily Dozen, you've got fruits, you've got vegetables, you've got whole grains, nuts and seeds, turmeric. There's a lot of different plant foods that you have to eat every single day. And so when I tell people to limit their meat intake to no more than 6 to 8 ounces per day, they say, well, what am I going to eat? Or that's not enough. I don't think people realize that by choosing more animal foods, you're pushing the plant foods off your plate, and that's what we want. We want more plant foods. A diet that's centered around whole plant foods is the healthiest diet, and it's really not arguable at all at this point. So one of the ways that I get in the sheer volume of plant foods that I have to do it, that I want to eat every day, is by doing my smoothies. Which brings me to a lot of my smoothie videos. Why do I drink smoothies? Because it's not only do smoothies really extract the nutrients that are trapped inside the cell walls, making those vitamins, minerals, and other plant chemicals, positive, really healthy plant chemicals, more available for our body. You know, we see a huge increase in the availability of nutrients when we break open the cell wall this way. Again, not just fruits. We have half fruits, half vegetables. We've got some nuts and seeds in there, so we're not just loading up on fruit sugar. But just the sheer volume. So here I've got 3 bananas. I have about 300 grams of kale, so a whole bunch of kale. I have about 2 cups of the frozen blueberries that I showed you, the nuts and the seeds that I had down there, and about a cup of oatmeal. So we have of raw oatmeal. So I've got 2 whole grains. I've got about 4 servings of vegetables and about 5 or 6 servings of fruits. So if I'm going to drink all of this today, this is all of the produce that I need to have all day. And then if I have some pasta later today and some beans and maybe some more vegetables, so now I'm aiming at about 15 servings of fruits and vegetables per day. I'm getting at least maybe 3 to 5 servings of whole grains. I've got half a cup or 3/4 of a cup of mixed nuts and seeds. So a lot of the magnesium, selenium, and zinc that we need, and the flaxseed for the omega-3s, and also for the lignans that we know really, really have positive health benefits. So smoothies. We're going to go ahead and make this up, drink it down, and get really, really healthy. Alright, so we have our purple smoothie here. This is about 8.5 cups, about 70 ounces. We're going to go ahead and get it down. Cheers. Tastes like blueberries. I put some ginger in there too, so it's got a real nice ginger taste, great for your blood pressure. So I hope you guys like this video. I don't want to make it any longer than it has to be. If you have any other questions, you want more tours, you want more information about eating healthy, you can post and leave comments down below, or you can check out my website at seantheRD.com. Cheers.